Hello, and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael DATCHER. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early AF at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael DATCHER channel, then 4:45 p.m. On Facebook Live. Today, we're talking about inner work. I can't see. I have the glasses on. That's much better. Today, we're talking about inner work and productivity. What is the connection between inner work and productivity? Um, And how can we go about doing what needs to be done that we may be able to produce a higher level of productivity in our own life, and both professionally and personally? So, thanks for being here. Um, so, if you're new, you can go to productivethroughjoy.com. See about us. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations about being productive through joy. You can also simply become a subscriber here by hitting that subscribe button and get all these videos for free. I did say free. One, two, three, four, free. So, thanks for being here. For those of you who are new, allow me to say a few words about myself. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael DATCHER. I'm the author of the New York Times bestseller, Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick. That book's film rights were optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people call my people, and I eventually agreed to write the screenplay for that particular project. I'm also the author of the acclaimed historical novel Americus, which is set 13 miles from Ferguson, where, of course, Michael Brown's was murdered. God bless him and his family. Still hard to even think about the parents of these children who are being taken from them. Bless these people, bless all people. Certainly bless those who've lost their kids. My goodness. Um, Also, I am the author of the acclaimed historical novel Americus, which is set 13 miles from Ferguson. Again, author of that came out in October. Then author of the brand new, spanking brand new book of literary theory called Animating Black and Brown Liberation, a Theory of American Literatures, which interrogates the intersection of activism and literature. What can fictional accounts, what can novels, plays, and at times poetry teach us about best practices for activism? You've been following all the attacks on ALC and the three other congresswomen, freshman congresswomen, whose names I'm dropping right now, and just it can be discouraging when you see the the ways in which the power structure is attacking people of color. I mean, yeah. So it is a time to have great resolve, and which is what this today's show is about. Great resolve begins by having great resolve in terms of doing inner work. So, but I'll get to that in a second. I'm also the board president of the World Stage, a great 501c3 nonprofit here in Los Angeles. Listen, my educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergrad, my master's from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature from the University of California at Riverside. I'm currently um, on tour for those last two books for Animating Black and Brown Liberation and Americas. I'll be in Kentucky. I'll be at the Kentucky Literary Festival. I'll be in Brattleboro which is in Vermont at the Brattleboro Literary Festival. I'll be in New Mexico. I'll be in Chicago. I'm coming everywhere. So look for me when you see me. Holler at me. Let's have some chamomile tea or some cognac. I do both of those. And yeah, we'll hang out. Thanks for being here, guys. Well, let's dive into today's topic. We're talking about inner work today. Wow. So my screen's a little dirty there. About inner work today. And point one is that you want to know that, listen, so we talk lots about metaphysics and productivity and all these things, which are super important. And we also know we have to do our due diligence in terms of just doing, following through with the plans that the inner spirit leads us to. You know, the show I've been sharing WoW for a while now, which is not a good thing. Uh, Super being challenged by people in my inner circle who just not acting right. Um, and when that happens, when you are wounded, as they say, in the house of a friend, I mean, the impact is pretty devastating. And so you have, and I know that many people deal with that. I'm just sharing because I know that's a common thing. And we aren't always sure how to deal with that because it's so painful and it can throw us off our game. It certainly has impacted my game. There's no twist about it because you get your heart really broken by those who are closest to you. have access to your heart. So it gets deep. And so in that, that is when you have to really double down on doing the inner work that leads to the outer productivity. Because if you can't do the inner work, if you can't get yourself ready to do what needs to be done by engaging in self-care, the outer work simply will not get done. That's point one. So what is inner work? What does that mean? So we talk often on the show about the power of meditation, the power of kind of running, the power of physical activity, the power of various types of modalities, but also the power of of knowing yourself, of walking with yourself, of communing with yourself. We call that self the inner spirit, the primordial energy, God, Allah, whatever you want to call it, whatever that thing is that you call that you know is bigger than you, that you know is there. Uh, it's really spending time with that part of the self, right? And those of us who are in this particular walk, we know when we're on our game, there's nothing that we cannot accomplish, and we're not so much on our game. It's a little different at times, a lot different. So um, it's work, and which goes into point three. But when you are engaged in this type of meditating, yoga, sharing like this show is part of my own spiritual practices, really kind of coming out and talking about issues that people don't typically talk about in this context, but we know that these are issues that people have. So, and having that type of attitude about it. But the third part of it is that when you do this work, because it's an engage it's a ritually engaging work. I mean, you do this every day. It's a lifestyle, which is also good. The difficulty in having a lifestyle like this is that it can get become routine. You can lose the joy because it actually is work. I mean, getting up early in the morning, reading, meditating, doing a show, it's a lot, right? It's work. Um, but it's super important work. It's work that I enjoy. It's work that I actually need. And at times it does get routine. So we have to find creative ways to keep doing it for the love of spirit, the love of family. Let me clear my throat, the love of self, that you may be in the joy. And that's one of the magic keys to this work is doing the work in joy. Many of us have jobs we do not like, are engaged in behavior, we're around people we do not like. Or as I said before, we've been, wounded by in the house of a friend. It's painful when that happens for us. And so we find ourselves being taken out of the joy or not being in the joy very much or thinking that joy isn't even a thing that we can look forward to. Uh, but I'm here to say that when you are in the joy, when you're doing the inner work, a byproduct of doing the inner work, excuse me, is being in the joy. And like that's what happens when you do this inner work, joy comes. And joy not tethered, joy untethered from circumstance, right? So things are still going to happen, life challenges are still going to do what they do, but you still can be in the joy because you are knowing that you are a part of the one, the primordial one, the expressive one, and that what you're doing is in service of other people. I'm not even sure why that's even true, real, and a powerful thing, but even in the midst of struggle, when you are going through it, when you serve anyway, I don't know, magic happens, and you do it because that's the right thing to do. You recognize that. Wow, I am not the only one out here suffering. Many people are having a challenging time. So boom goes the dynamite. Thanks for being here. We'll see you hella early every weekday here on YouTube's Michael DATCHER channel, and every afternoon on on Facebook Live. Thanks for being here. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.